Hello, everybody, for another night of Post to Post with the host of the most, Will and Grace of the Brothers of Discussion. No, Daddy in the Pickle Diddy in the Pickle this week. back to Will and Grace.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going, Mac Daddy?
Not many people will catch that reference. They'll think it's something else entirely, but that's okay. All right, everything's going pretty good, man. Just been busy. Last night it was a damn mess. Got started on everything late. Took longer to do everything.
Did you ever get your hotel?
Yes, I did at 7:20.
And how much time is that? How much time did you spend trying to get a hotel?
5 hours.
I would have called it at 30 minutes.
well,
that's actually
most of that's on me. Most of that's on me, and dickheaded internet trolls decided to point that out when I moaned on the MagFest page. I skimmed the email really quick because I was at work, like right at about to pop outside for doing bus duty and everything. So I skimmed it super fast because it was like, okay, thing opens at 2. I was like, shit, it's 2:30, and then I pretty much closed it out and logged into the page almost immediately. So I didn't read the rest of the email. The queue opened at 2. The room booking opened at 7 p.m.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But
pretty much you were in queue waiting, thinking you were going to get it, but really you were just in the 5-hour-long waiting line.
Yeah, I was in the waiting room for 5 hours. But I was still number 700 in line, so I did get a room at the Gaylord.
There you go.
Yeah. Now I've just got to hope.
This year?
As of right now, me.
Perfect.
My boy from last year, he's a hard maybe. It all depends on a couple things. If he can get some stuff squared away before then. Derek wants to come, but he's again got to get a couple things squared away before then, so he's also a maybe. Thought about maybe even asking Big Wheezy, see what he's up to.
There you go. He'll say no.
I know he will, but I'll still do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's too soon after special times for you, so it's a no-go on your end.
Yes, it's a no-go.
And
did they still do the video game stuff like they had that one year?
How do you mean?
You remember where they just have the stupid, hard, crazy challenge thing that I knocked out like 6 of them?
Yeah.
Nice. Are they a little more stringent on people in their time there?
Oh, where they just kind of post up and on one of the machines and just stay there?
Yeah.
That's always still a little dicey. There's not too much enforcement they can really do. So I'll be staff at it this year, so that's cool.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, because I did my volunteer year before last. They took last year off due to the hate virus, and then they're back this year, and I get to be staff this year. So I'll do my usual 30-some-odd hours of 20-some-odd hours of weighted volunteer time, get another free ticket for next year, just keep rolling, riding that train.
There you go.
Yep.
So I'd probably need to do it just to save some money if I can ever go again.
Yeah, the volunteer stuff's pretty solid, man. And if you do enough, they feed you. So, yeah, there's lots of perks. And the meal I got was solid.
Huh.
Giant, like, Chinese, like, restaurant takeaway, like, catering.
Oh, there you go.
So I rolled in. They're like, all right, here it is. Go nuts. Just get whatever you fucking want. And rolled out. Fucking delicious.
And if any of our random listeners are making a trip out to MagFest, probably won't know who he is because you've never seen our face.
Yep. But just for some reason, just make your own post-to-post t-shirt, and then I'll introduce myself to you if I see you. Maybe I'll give you one of the dated old business cards I used to hand out, which I was sitting on tables at the last one.
That's funny. Isn't that the one that still had Wes on it?
Yes, it's the one that was me, you, John, and Wes.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's like 2 years.
I've still got like 70 or so of those things.
Just start using them for like food competitions. Like, you know, get to the thing and it's like, drop your business card in. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll get a catered meal maybe.
Yeah, I need to just write my phone number on the back or something.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, but it'll be a good time. But I got it sorted out, and I've already got plans in the works to where I don't have to pay the full amount for the room. But I'm definitely going to keep it since I got one at the Gaylord this time.
Yeah,
it'll make working those volunteer hours that much easier. Because I mean, it's super cushy and easy to do those volunteer times. They can be a little boring, but it's solid. Working in the museum was the best because I got to mess around with all the old vintage machines.
Yeah.
All the old computers. I played some Word and Number Muncher.
There you go. That's my game.
Boy.
Right there.
Little Oregon Trail, some Blast of the Past shit, Carmen San Diego, you know.
Classy bitch.
Hey, it was a good time. All right, but, you know, we digress. We always have that nice little cold open rant, but we got some wrestling to talk about.
Yeah, right.
Not a lot of it, because in all honesty, we're in that late fall kind of dry spell, and it really shows with the way things have been going lately, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with AEW and how apparently Tony Khan has nothing better to do than just the shit talk on the WWE, which, you know, God love him, I do it too, but at the same time,
it's a little different when you're, you know, you're doing that. I mean, they spent years, you know, they've been around for 2 years now, so I'm going to use it as a plural sense, even though it doesn't feel like it. Yeah. They spent years saying, we're not competing with them, we're doing blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, now you're coming out and just kind of talking smack each time. I kind of liked it more when you just kind of did your own thing. Because that is when WCW sort of dug their own grave. Yeah,
when they started like spoiling the pay-per-views at the announce desk, and that instantly made people, or spoiling Raw, and that instantly made people turn the station.
Yes.
Yeah, it was one of the worst things WCW ever did.
Now, to give benefit of the doubt and stuff, or you know, the credit to Tony, he is doing it more as a response rather than just doing it, because WWE's doing some dirty dirts, from what I can tell. I mean,
WWE keeps shitting on everybody. Like, I mean, they stomped down that MLW Tubi deal because Tubi's owned by Fox, and they work with Fox, so like, no one else can work with you.
Yeah.
And they shut down some other like places where other promotions were going to go just because they work there, and they don't want any competition in that area. I'm like, that's some bullshit, man. It just, I mean, honestly, it's just them being scared because most of the other products are way stronger than theirs.
I mean, they got the bigger network, so they're always going to have the bigger viewers. But yeah, they're still losing in the key demos. That's sort of what's hurting them. It's not viewership; they're getting more eyes on the screen.
Oh, they'll always get more eyes. It'll be a while before AEW like tops them on eyes, if ever. I mean, the big thing right now is like Khan was hyping up the fact that they had that 30-minute head-to-head with SmackDown last week. They
did very well.
They did really well. They beat out WWE in the key demographic. That, what is it, 18 to 45 or whatever?
Yeah.
That demographic, they beat out WWE in viewership. That's an important demo. But they didn't beat WWE in ratings.
No, but I mean, the demo is honestly a little more important from what I've gathered from. Now, I don't know shit about it. I like numbers more than that, but I don't understand demographic stuff, all that. So when I see, you know, even though it was only like 1,000 viewers or something like that, you know, they still won in that regard. But then when you go into demographics stuff, which I don't really understand too much, despite having a business degree, because that's a whole different ballgame. That's industry specific. I still say they did very well. I mean, they did better than most people probably thought they would.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%. And the fact they did get the demographics and people hold that to a whole different standard, I still chalk it up as a win for AEW based on how the internet is seeing it. Maybe know more about it than I would.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of, I hate to throw the vitriol and call them the WWE marks, etc. Because they would do the same thing for us, but calling us AEW marks, which, I mean, fuck it, I'll take it, because I like AEW more than them, but, I mean, if AEW fucks up big enough for me to call them out on it, I'll fucking call them out on it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, WWE marks, they're all like, ooh, they wanted demographic, they didn't win the ratings, so they didn't win. I'm like, no shit. But, the thing is, and from what I gather, if you beat them out in a key viewership demographic, that could telegraph a shift in viewers. Yes. That key demographic is the one you watch for growth to make sure that your product is healthy and it's going to move up. Mm-hmm. And if that viewership is shifted to the opposing product, then that could be bad for you.
Yes. And one thing that I did want to also say was, and on top of that, with all this talk of things, AEW also did it against competition who paid not to have commercials.
Oh.
So I think on FS1, that 30-minute overlap from WWE was a commercial-free overlap for them. So that, in turn, kind of also shows something else. They gambled a little bit and kind of lost, in a sense.
Yeah, I feel like if they had commercial breaks, it probably would have took the eyes off of them a little bit. That's also part of the reason why I think Tony Khan and them made sure that CM Punk match that kicked it off was commercial-free. Mm-hmm. And it was a decent match. I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I liked it. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Rampage Friday, the lead-in, the buy-in, very good. I enjoy Bobby Fish more and more all the time. I forgot how much I enjoyed Bobby Fish. It's been so long since I've really seen him wrestle because, well, one, I never tuned into NXT or anything as much as I should have before it became 2.0. But I remember watching him in New Japan and Ring of Honor a bit, and I loved it. And now that he's back, I forgot how much I enjoyed it because I hadn't seen it so long due to the previously mentioned thing, and also due to the fact that Bobby Fish sometimes seemed like he was made of glass.
Yes.
But, doing something good. And honestly, his match with Lee Moriarty was a good match. I liked the wrestling and grappling heavy match that they put on. It played to both of their strengths. It was very good. But 100% you knew it was going to be a Bobby Fish getting the W match. The very first match of the buy-in, though, was Ty Conti and, what's her name, Santana Garrett, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's Santana Garrett.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but I mean, it was just like, okay, Ty Conti's going to win because this other one's kind of the quasi-no-name, just dark-only talent, so. And I was right. It was a decent match, but it wasn't one I was super invested in. I was riding the bike at the gym to watch it.
There you go.
Yeah.
No problem with that, though. So
no, nothing at all. Managed to get through almost the entire thing on the bike. But the best match of the buy-in, for sure, was the one we knew for a fact was guaranteed to be the best last week. And that was Daniel Bryan versus Minoru Suzuki.
Yes.
Now, mind you, because of the scheduling I've had this week and not being able to watch things like I wanted, I only got through half of that match. It was a 30-minute affair. I got about 15 minutes in. all I can say, those 15 minutes were stellar.
Hell yeah.
Because the crowd started chanting, "This is wrestling."
Which is completely true.
Because it was a legit, like, blend of classic wrestling and, like, strong style. And a little bit of classic Ring of Honor thrown in. Like, it was a beautiful blend of wrestling styles. And you got a famous Suzuki soup bone cold cock on Bryan. They were doing some of those classic strong style trading licks. Suzuki doing his famous chops. Bryan, instead of doing chops, was doing kicks to the chest.
Oh, damn.
And he staggered Suzuki back. Suzuki walks up. You know, he does his thing. He shakes it off, limbers up, starts winding his arm up, and then fucking forearm to the side of the head. And Danielson just drops like a fucking sack of bricks.
Nice.
Like, and he laid there for a minute. They're like, Daniel's fucking out. I think he's out cold. And he just laid there. It looked like he was drooling and everything. I was like, this is beautiful. His matches with, let's put it this way. His matches with Moxley paled in comparison to this one.
Well, I will say it sounds like it was a better time than what I did. So I might need to go back and try and watch it. I ended up watching Halloween Kills.
I didn't hear great things.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
I watched the final Daniel Craig 007 last week.
And was that good?
Yes, it was.
Alright. Well, good. I'm glad.
Real good.
Before we go off on that route, I just wanted to say that's what I did instead of watching wrestling, and I wish I'd watched wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I did Friday night, too. I went to the movies instead of watching wrestling, but I mean, I hadn't been to the movies in so long, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah. That'll probably be me when Marvel Eternals come out, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, again, great match. You even got the classic Suzuki neck scissor armbar over the top rope.
Nice.
I was like, oh boy. It's just because it's in America, he did not hold it anywhere near as long as he would have in Japan. He let go of that bitch real fast, but he laid it on and even did that little head bump handspring off to the apron to his feet. And I was like, there you go. That's Suzuki.
I hope, I know he wants to come back to Wrestle Moxley again, because he cut a promo saying he has unfinished business with Mox.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it happens, and I hope that Suzuki beats Mox.
Yeah, Suzuki needs a W in AEW. But my guess is he'll probably wrestle him on New Japan programming this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
That would be my big, almost guarantee. Like, you could probably take that prediction right there to the bank. Because they've already done 2 in AEW. And out of the 3 matches that count toward, or 2 matches that count towards Suzuki's win-loss record in AEW, a boy's pulling a goose egg.
Yep.
Because Bryan beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I need to finish it and see what the finish was, but I'm just going to imagine it had to be stellar for him to beat the beast that is Suzuki. If he beat him by submission, that would be even more amazing. But that gives us a nice segue into Dynamite the next night. Our lovely Saturday Night Dynamite. Don't really need to touch on like every single match, or well, actually, no. Let me backtrack a little bit. Rampage, which we needed to talk about a bit more. We touched on the fact that CM Punk's match was 30 minutes long, or not 30 minutes long, but had no commercials, and was good. Now, out of all of the matches Friday night. The CM Punk match, Aleister Black and Dante Martin, Kiera Hogan and Penelope Ford, and then finally America's Top Team, Men of the Year and what's his face?
Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, Dos Santos, and then the Inner Circle. Dante and Aleister was the match of the night.
Yeah, the Dante Aleister match was a really good match. I didn't really enjoy the Kiera Hogan and Penelope Ford. It just didn't flow right.
No.
And I think it's just from Kiera Hogan being a little green. Mm-hmm. I know she came from TNA, and she, I think, was their TNA tag champ.
Yeah, she was a tag champion. She was part of Fire and Flava.
Yeah, that's it. But I don't know. There's just a lot of miscues in the match.
I mean, Penelope Ford's notorious for miscues in the ring.
This is true, but the main one I saw was Kiera Hogan didn't do her hands right, like when she was doing the Cobra Clutch with the arms and then a knee to the head.
Uh-huh.
She, did it. I was like, oh, I'm on the wrong side. And then it was like an awkward transition to reset up with the correct position. And it was just... that didn't look good.
No. Some of those awkward moments never, ever look good. But yeah, that's a match that it didn't stick out for me. But Dante and Aleister was solid. The only issue that I have with the match is I really do think Aleister swallowed his Black Mist capsule.
You're probably right.
Because if you looked right after that, when he was coughing, he coughed on Dante a little bit, and you saw the black spots on Dante's face.
I did. I did see the black spot.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was. I thought it was because it happened after a flip to the outside of the ring or something like that, and I was thinking, oh, maybe he just got some face paint on him, and no. That wasn't it. It's something else.
Yeah, because Black was just hacking it up. Because he legit just inhaled that motherfucker. And choked on it. But Dante looks better and better all the time.
Yes. I
mean, I think it sells how much faith they have in him. Because they have Black, who's been a fucking beast since he's rolled into AEW, turn around and give him a head nod on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
That's not heel shit. That's good.
Yeah. That was a good match, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I felt like the weakest part was actually afterwards with the backstage promo with him and Leo.
Yeah, Leo saying he's his new tag partner.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it just... I don't know if this is a weird story thing, but Dante Martin's body language and facial expressions did not give any sort of excited vibe. It was more of a, am I in trouble?
I think what it's going to be is he realizes he's been taken for a ride.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo's going to wind up playing that smarmy kind of heelish double dealer, kind of like Matt Hardy is.
Yeah.
But a little more just outspoken about everything instead of trying to badly hide it and be all carny like Hardy does. So what I see happening when Dante's brother comes back,
mm-hmm.
that's when Dante's going to pretty much try to bail out, and you're going to see the real new Leo Rush come out.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's going to be how Top Flight comes back, because they're probably going to do a quasi turn for Dante while he's working with Leo. But it's not going to be a pure heel turn. It's going to be that, grudging, I have to do this because, he's my manager type of deal.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I see happening there. Now, moving on to the main event, which was the continuance of the Inner Circle and America's Top Team feud.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Paige Van Zandt, I'm tired of seeing it already.
I heard Junior DeSantos did pretty well in the match.
Oh, he did?
For some reason, I watched that whole episode, and I don't remember seeing that match.
It wasn't anything to write home about, but yeah, he did really good. Like, the way he was throwing his punches looked, like he was an MMA fighter throwing punches, but they also looked safe. There were a couple that looked like he pulled them a little too much, but for the most part, he was hitting all the sturdy meats without going for any of the sensitive meats. And doing it the right way. But the big takeaway is that Top Team didn't get a clean win over the Inner Circle. So that pretty much further cements America's Top Team as the heel faction in this little feud.
Oh, yeah.
And then the biggest part of the whole match, after everything was said and done, the full reuniting of the Inner Circle.
I think that was a Rampage match, dude.
I was talking about Rampage.
I thought you were talking about fucking Dynamite because the Dante Martin Malachi Black was on.
Did I already switch over?
Yeah, you switched over to Dynamite, but then you started talking about that match, and I was confused because I watched that episode and it wasn't.
We'll have to cut some of that shit out. I don't know what's going on. I didn't realize I had switched over. I got excited to talk about the Aleister Black one.
And just let it roll.
Yeah, we'll roll with it. I'll admit that I fucked it up. We'll use that as a circle back moment. So we'll circle back. We'll do it out of order. Anywho, the return of the Inner Circle after the Rampage match into Dynamite. They got to have some promo time. Scorpio Sky comes out saying he's pinned Jericho 2 times. And setting up some feud stuff, Dan Lambert being Dan Lambert. And then basically them saying the only person they're going to accept the challenge from is Sammy, because Sammy's the only one that has gold on his waist.
Yep.
And Sammy didn't back down.
No. I don't know. I think Sammy might lose.
I wouldn't be surprised if he loses. I really think they need to give, I think Sammy is going to be a short-term TNT champion. I think if they're going to do something quasi-smart, he's probably going to lose that belt to Scorpio Sky.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how it's going to play out. Like, I think, I don't know why, but I feel like it'll be Rusev, which costs Sammy his thing, because Rusev can't handle the fact that Sammy...
Mira?
What?
Mira?
Mira, yeah. Did I say Rusev?
Yes.
Yeah.
You pulled a me. I got fucked up talking about Dynamite when I was supposed to be talking about Rampage, and then you went back in time.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Miro might, just because he's kind of hell-bent on revenge on Sammy, even though, it's more of he needs the belt, but at the same time, it just sounds more like it's more personal with Sammy rather than just Miro lost the belt and he wants the belt back.
Yeah, I could see him costing Sammy a belt. I really could. At the same time, I really enjoyed his promo from Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
His, why did you give me a body of granite and a neck of sand? And then he's like, have you forsaken me? I will keep crushing necks underneath my boot until you answer my calls. I was like, oh, Miro, your crisis of faith is even tougher than your faith-based stuff.
I love fucking new, crazy fucking Miro.
I do too. The Redeemer is the best. I don't know how some people can't enjoy it. I fucking love the Redeemer. It's a great characterization.
Yep.
Most of the stuff from Dynamite was, sadly, the usual, AEW pulls. I mean, one, Super Click versus Dark Order was real fun.
Yes, that was a very fun match.
I mean, they really made you think Dark Order was out to pull a W.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. I really love the kiss on Cole.
Yeah, that was great.
Even played off of it on the most recent episode of BTE.
Mm-hmm.
They and then they played off of the fact that WWE offered him a manager thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just funny.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good match. Not a lot of dumb shit going on, but sadly, right towards the end, they definitely tried to double up the dumb by putting Brandon Cutler in there.
Well, that's just gonna happen.
I know. It's just like I like watching Brandon Cutler wrestle. I don't like watching Brandon Cutler lackey.
It doesn't bother me, but I do prefer Cutler's cool ass entrance gear and shit.
Mm-hmm. His D&D nerd style was way better than his. Now the gimmick is dead because they didn't really run with it the right way. They just turned it into a comedy show. I liked it more when he was the young boy.
Yeah.
Now he's just the lackey. Like, they don't even call him a young boy anymore.
Nope.
Why would you keep doing it if you've already kind of lost the thread of the joke and moved away from it? Just put him in a polo shirt and give him a headset just like Nakazawa.
Hell, or just piss him off and make him leave.
Yeah, that too.
And go back and do some like short feud, and then finally just kind of let him go do his thing again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need to move away from the lackeys. They don't need them. Their group's big enough. They don't need the lackeys. Let's see. What was the big standout? Oh, yes. The biggest thing from Dynamite. The two biggest things. Mind you, they kind of happened almost back to back. First, Hangman's promo.
The cowboy shit.
The cowboy shit promo. Because the whole time I was listening, it was like, if this was anything like the Hard Times promo, this one we'll just call the cowboy shit promo.
It was a good promo.
It was really good. I was like, damn, Hangman, you learned how to cut a promo while you were gone. A pretty decent one. And you came out confident, sans booze. My.
That's true.
My. And he didn't skirt around the issues of anything. And also, this is what I think. I mean, I'm probably reading way too much into it. But did you hear the big name drop that he did in his promo?
No.
Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah. He did say Ring of Honor, didn't he?
Yeah, straight up. He didn't, like, dance around it. Because, I mean, most places, if you don't have a healthy relationship, you're not going to talk about them. Like, they don't purposely mention the big boy's name.
Oh, yeah.
Usually the only names they mention are the companies that they currently are working with. So, even though you know they poached all these people from Ring of Honor, poached being the only term I can think of that really works, because they were mighty salty a couple years ago about that. This is the first time that I recall them directly saying Ring of Honor by name on AEW programming, instead of a generic other company style response.
Well, hopefully they figure their shit out, because they, that's where everyone's from, and all these companies need to come together.
Yeah, I agree. If all of them start working together and playing nice, it's going to make wrestling that much better. I mean, it's already the best it's been because a few of the companies are playing nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All things considered, Hangman's promo really was a good one because, one, he gave you definitives without shoehorning himself into looking weak if he didn't deliver on certain aspects. he said he was going to go out there and give everything he's got. But he didn't say he was going to win a title.
This is true, he didn't.
That's almost instant kryptonite for anyone going after a belt. Instant. And he didn't do it. He just said he guarantees he's going to go out there and give his all for everybody watching. And I'm like, there you go. That's smart promo work. Tell them you're going to do it without telling them you're going to do it. Subtlety. Leading from there, we hit the biggest part of the night, or well, one of the big announcements for the night, and the thing that we really thought was like just awkward booking. The tournament bracket for the title.
Yeah, I don't really understand it.
Yeah, I mean it goes off at full gear again, just like it did last year. The finals of the tournament are going to be at full gear. So whoever does that's going to have a shot at the title after everything.
Yes.
So we'll see Hangman and Page go at it at Hangman and Page. Fuck, I've pulled a Wes. We'll see Hangman and Kenny go at it. And whoever comes out on top there, fingers crossed it's Hangman because the motherfucker deserves it. And then we'll see what happens with whoever comes out on top from the tournament. So our matches right now, in the first block of the tournament, you've got Dark Order's 10 versus Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Then on the other side of the bracket, you've got Dustin Rhodes versus Bryan Danielson, and then Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. My thoughts. It's going to be a Moxley versus Danielson final. Because, one, the obvious choice, of course, Danielson really makes sense for the final winner. He does. Secondly, I feel like even though, you know, we've seen a billion times the Mox being in the title picture, this is a way to make it seem like they're going to put him up there. Kind of a red herring, a MacGuffin almost. And then he gets beat by Danielson instead. Because that's kind of a matchup that could go either way. None of the other people in this, to me, really would make sense getting that title shot.
I told you already, you know, that's my second pick was Moxley and Danielson. I also said, you know, I feel like it might have already been done in the WWE, so I was thinking to have a fresh matchup, it would be Cassidy and Bryan Danielson.
That would be quite the clash of styles. It would indeed. I just don't
see... But anyone else I don't see. Like, I don't see Lance Archer.
No, Lance Archer, I don't think he's ever going to really get a true shot at the big belt unless it comes through an actual story arc. It's not going to come through a tournament. Will he get a shot at and possibly hold the TNT title? Oh, I almost guarantee it. At some point down the line. But, yeah, no one else on there works. And truly, with the exception of three people, it's a pretty weak bracket, but it's got some new talent in there that makes it look good that they're in it. I mean, 10, Dark Order's 10 has a lot of potential. Preston Vance. I mean, they just really need to do something with him so that way he can stop looking so green in the ring, because, like, I hardly ever see him wrestle, so he always looks, you know, awkward. But the dude's built like a brick shithouse. So, I mean, he definitely would be good at what he does if he ever gets, you know, enough experience under his belt. Orange Cassidy's always fun. He brings the eyes. And then Powerhouse Hobbs has a shitload of potential as well. As long as they let him do his powerhouse thing instead of just, constantly having Team Taz run-ins to help him win.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just filler. I'm not super impressed. This bracket's nowhere near as good as last year's was.
No, not at all.
Nowhere close. But, moving forward, how do you see the end of the year for AEW looking?
I think you'll have a new champ.
All right.
That's pretty much it. I think this is the third time's the charm. He's lost to Kenny twice. Mm-hmm. Boom. AEW likes to do threes.
Mm-hmm. They do. Most companies, a lot of companies anyway, they'll definitely do the threes, the rubber match.
Yep. I think the Lucha Bros will still be the AEW tag champs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've had their loss. That was to the Frogs, the Super Frogs.
Oh, man, I totally forgot about that one until you mentioned it right then. That was the most absurd thing. It's like, honestly, looking at them at first, it was spoiled for me before I got to see it. But looking at them at first...
Yeah, you spoiled it for me. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it was going to be FTR. I really wouldn't have. But, damn it, if shitty commentary didn't fuck that up. There was no mystery to it.
No, it was just...
Like, CM Punk gave up the ghost.
Yeah.
I'm just like, come on, man. Let the mystery build. He's like, that's obviously FTR under there. I was like, come on.
But at the same time, I think that was what they were going for. It's more of... It's no one really, but it is a good tag team.
Mm-hmm.
And these outfits are not fooling anyone.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how they wanted to play it. I agree with you. It should have been, not just spoiled like that.
Yeah, it fell flat because there was no, impetus to have Andrade pull FTR in as his tag team people to get those belts. Since FTR is already in another faction.
But then they tied it, they tied it all together with MJF pimping out his friends.
It's true, but...
Random thing. I gotta say it. Is it me, or did it look like MJF was going full half chub the entire time?
It did.
It was just in your face. Just like, here it is.
Yeah.
He's no Corey Gordon, but come on, man.
Oh, boy. I hope Corey listens to this.
It's alright. He actually asked me about it before I got a chance to watch it. He's like, yo, what's going on right here? And I was like, oh no, all I know is he can't
a mean half stack.
Man's a legend.
He is. It really did. It's like, I noticed it. I was like, damn, man, did you forget to put your dancer's belt on underneath your tights before you came out here? Because, as Chris Jericho would say, tights were so tight you could see his religion.
Definitely Jewish.
Well,
yeah.
He Star David on his sleeve. That's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also think that there's going to be a new champ moving forward. For me, there are 3 possible outcomes. First one, Hangman gets the belt at Full Gear. Okay? Then, to prove that Hangman is better than Kenny, when Danielson, who I believe is going to win this bracket, gets his title shot, Hangman's going to beat him, because Kenny hasn't done that.
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to make Hangman look even better.
Yeah.
That, to me, is best case scenario. Second option. Hangman wins again. This is the less savory option, and almost more of a slap in the face than him losing. He's a transitional champion. Daniel Bryan gets the belt in the new year.
It better not be that.
And then third and final option, he gets beat by Kenny again. And then Daniel Bryan beats Kenny and gets the belt. Those are the three things that I see possibly happening. I think those have the highest odds of actually coming to pass than any of the other individuals in this tournament winning and doing similar actions. The only way it could play out any differently is if Bryan Danielson somehow gets eliminated from the tournament earlier on, and then that puts up someone weak, and then you could almost guarantee the Hangman's going to win, and then he's going to have an easy first title defense.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way they could build up a little bit of drama is if they had Dark Order's 10 win the tournament, throw him a bone, and then Hangman has to beat him for his first title defense, and that could, cause a little bit of rocky relations in Dark Order Town. Who knows? But the main three, Page wins and beats Danielson to prove that he's better than Kenny. Page wins, he's transitional champion. Danielson wins. Then Kenny wins against Page, but drops it to Danielson. Those are my big three.
It's a pretty fair three, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about it as soon as I saw the tournament. I was like, this is the only way I think it can go. Because, Hangman deserves his belt, and it's been like a major story arc for him, and this would be the best payoff for it, is to finally give it to him. All right. Let me find my stuff. All right, here we go. But that's what I see AEW moving forward, and if that's the case, then we'll get to see either the slow dissolution of the Elite or a lot more squabbling, and possibly, them slowly becoming less heelish to get in the good graces of everyone to get title shots again. But we'll see. Now, a couple things real quick before we dive into the big predictions for the night. First, New Japan has named the finalists for the G1. Last week we said who we thought it would be. If I remember correctly, I do believe we were wrong.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. The finalists for the G1 this year: Kota Ibushi and Katsuchika Okada.
Chica Okada.
So they dipped into the Ibushi Okada well once again.
That's fine. They put a hell of a good match on, but they should have done someone else.
I know. It's like, I still feel like having Jeff Cobb at least make it through. I could live with Ibushi going through A block and beating Shingo since he's already the champ that everyone's going after. I could see that one working out. Would I have liked the drama of the champ winning it all? That would have been pretty cool. But I feel like the Empire was on a tear through this tournament. Jeff Cobb was a beast. He was undefeated until, the end. And he lost to Okada. And so, that right there, to me, just... It's almost like they really shit on the United Empire by doing that. They dangled it right in front of their face and then kicked him in the balls at the last second.
That is what they did, right?
Yeah. 100%. I would have way rather seen like Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb, because to me that's a way bigger clash of styles and wrestling like mentalities, and I think it would have made for a better match than Ibushi and Okada, who we kind of know what we're going to get. Their match is in about 6 hours and 13 minutes. So if you're up at 5 a.m., jump on New Japan World, give it a watch. You'll have to sit through some tag matches and some filler, but you're going to get Ibushi and Okada. I'm going to go ahead, go out on a limb, and say Okada's going to get the win because he hasn't had a proper challenge for the new belt yet.
I could see that because I feel like they're going back to Okada being a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm. As long as Okada being a force to be reckoned with doesn't go back to wearing the pants in the ring, I'm fine with it. Trunks Okada or nothing.
That's fair.
Yep. If he doesn't wear the shorts, don't want to see it. Those pants were awful. This was a terrible choice. But now we'll move on into the world of WWE, the place that we like to steer clear of as much as possible. However, we've got to touch on it because their big pay-per-view is tomorrow. Now, mind you, the world got in the way, so we're a little late recording. It'll probably be after the show by the time many people are hearing this, but hopefully you'll still listen to these predictions and then see how you did. Or not how you did, how we did compared to the actual show. Because I'd say a lion's share of you will be tuning in to Crown Jewel as it happens. But if not, listen to the show, watch Crown Jewel, see how we did. But we're going to dive into some predictions on that bitch. I know a lot of people online were like, man, Crown Jewel actually has a stacked card this time. I was looking at it and I was like, it's not really what I would call stacked. It's okay. You've got...
they have a Goldberg match. It's not stacked.
Yeah, once you put a Goldberg match on there and it not being, 1997, it's kind of instant damper. Alright, so I'll run through the card and then we'll start at the bottom and work our way to the top. So, you've got Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali. You've got Zelina Vega versus Doudrop for the Queen's Crown tournament finals. Then you've got Xavier Woods versus Finn Balor for the King of the Ring finals. Then you've got RK Bro versus AJ and Omos for the Raw Tag Championships. You've got the Triple Threat, Becky Banks and Belair. You've got Edge and Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match, which I really wish they'd just call a fucking cage match because it's not the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, so to me it's not Hell in a Cell.
The pay-per-view doesn't need to be Hell in a Cell. It didn't debut at a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
I know,
it's just a match.
Yeah, but
that's like saying the TLC match between the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys wasn't a TLC match because it wasn't at TLC.
It's true, but since they created a pay-per-view around it, that's where most people are going to recognize it now. So to me, that match is synonymous with the pay-per-view, and so to use it outside of the pay-per-view, kind of, why would you do the pay-per-view anymore?
Because they shouldn't be doing pay-per-views based on matches anyways.
That is a fact. I will not argue that at all. So, to me, I think it's just a poor choice. It should just be a classic cage match. You're still in, air quotes, a cell, and you're still going to take your opponent through hell, but you don't have to put the fucking name on it just because you have it. It's not like you're going to lose the rights to it. You do fucking pay-per-view once a year. But that's Edge and Rollins. Then you've got Goldberg and Lashley in a no-holds-barred match.
And Gage Goldberg will be in attendance.
Oh boy. And Oldberg is... Well, we'll talk about Oldberg and the outcome in a moment. Then you have Big E versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And then finally, my least, I mean, even less than the Goldberg and Lashley match, my least interesting match of the night. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Talk about a fucking snoozer. But, anyway, we'll start at the bottom. Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali.
Mansoor.
Okay.
He hasn't lost in Saudi Arabia yet.
All right. I will follow you that one because, honestly, with those two names, I don't know enough about them other than that little bit about Mustafa Ali and his short-lived faction to give a damn.
I like Mustafa Ali. I think they've been shitting on him. I really liked his old Iron Man, like, entrance gear kind of.
Oh, yeah, his gear was super sweet. But it's just like I haven't seen anything. They've just done so little with him. I can't, develop anything.
Yep.
That and other reasons, mostly being that I rarely watch WWE, but, it is what it is. All right, next. Zelina Vega versus Doudrop for the Queen's Crown tournament. I'm going Vega.
My heart tells me Vega, but my mind says Doudrop.
Why is that?
Just because he has the shit end of the stick, and they seem to be all about Doudrop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they put her with Ava, but they split her from Ava, and then kind of let Doudrop in the end kind of come out on top with that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the feeling I get. I think they've done that. And what's Zelina Vega been? Like, she's been a manager to two failed factions. Called up, not used, let go, brought back, and then her husband leaves.
Her husband leaving is the main reason why I would think your Doudrop prediction is correct.
I'm going to go Doudrop. If Zelina Vega wins, I'm more happy than if I get this right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm leaning Vega just because to me she has more name notoriety and be a better choice for the first holder of that tournament title. All right, next. Look at our boy, Xavier Woods, and even more so, our former Bullet Club buddy, Finn Balor.
It's Balor. I'm going Balor.
I have to go Balor as well, just because he already has a character that fits the King gimmick, and it'll work.
Yep.
It'll work. All right. Now for the Raw Tag Championships, are we going RK Bro, or are we going Styles and Omos? I've heard there's been a little growing friction between RK Bro again. But also, I'm hearing that, maybe they're going to be breaking up Styles and Omos pretty soon.
You can only hope. Because I'm a little over it.
Yeah.
Personally, so, I'm over it, but Omos isn't ready to split off and be a singles wrestler yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to stick him with Styles for a while still.
Yeah.
So with that, yeah, I'm gonna say Styles and Omos. I think that's actually hard because, like, my question is more of reliability of Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. Almost every other week now, he's sort of gone. Mm-hmm. And no one really explains why. He's just gone.
Yeah.
So I don't really get it.
That one is a tricky one for sure. I am going to lean more towards RK Bro. So that's what I'm going to predict.
I'm gonna go RK Bro. I feel like they're pretty heavy on Riddle right now, and I think the AJ and Omos ran its course. They don't need to keep it going.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like they're going to do their tag shit for a little while longer just so Almost can get a little better. Because he is much better than when he first showed up already.
Yes, I can agree with that.
And AJ's the perfect person to teach him because AJ's fucking gold.
He is probably one of the best wrestlers to ever live.
Yeah, he is up there for sure.
And I remember watching him when he started in TNA all the time, and I loved him then too.
Short hair, AJ.
Oh.
And no beard.
No beard, short hair.
And way bigger.
No tattoos.
Yeah. He was so fucking big back then, too.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Alright. So next, we got the match that Stupid built. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Becky.
I think you're probably right, but I'm going to go with Banks because in some of the packages I watched recently, like, she just looked like she was dogging the fuck out of both of them.
You can dog them, but it doesn't mean you're going to win.
I mean, it just means, to me, it looks like she's just got a little bit more, like, heat behind her push. Like, not the angry heat. I'm just saying, like, personal heat. Like, she's more fired up.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to bank on that one. Bank on Banks. Pun intended. And, you know, you're probably going to be right. But I just, from what I've seen, I feel safer going with Banks. From a personal standpoint. Belair, if she's going to get it, she's going to get it in a regular singles match, not a triple threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won't, to me, she won't get it back unless it is.
I just think this is setting up the rehash of Becky and Sasha. So, the person who's going to lose is probably Bianca.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to get done dirty. That's why I said this was the match that Stupid built, because they definitely did her fucking dirty when Becky returned.
Yes, 100%. I will never argue against that.
And then, the next match. Edge versus Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell match.
Edge.
Yeah, I'm going Edge as well.
I would just say Edge just because he's part-time, and, you know, if he loses, and then is gone when he comes back, no one's going to give a shit.
Yeah, it's also, they tend to put over the legend talent whenever they're in Saudi Arabia. That's what it feels like. The past few times they've been there, almost every time they'll put over the classic talent. Because that's who they seem to like the most.
Yes.
All right. The next match that is pointless. Bill Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. No holds barred. We gonna get some color in this match?
Nope. It's WWE. It's pure. It's pure. I mean, the only color we'll get is if Goldberg smashes his head in the door and gets bloody before his walkout.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Or if Lashley pulls a Titus slide on the way in.
Yes. That was such a great moment. Booker T couldn't hold it. He's like, back it off. Let me see it again. Oh, shit. Same thing with JBL and his entrance with his Texas two-step, and he fucking slips.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
God. I'm just waiting to see. Like, every year there's been a botch in a Goldberg match at this shit. But they keep doing it.
I don't know why they keep doing it, but, I mean, it is Goldberg. I get it.
I mean, he fucked himself up last year. Or did he fuck up the Undertaker? Am I getting it flipped around?
He fucked up. Both of them fucked each other up.
There we go.
Get that out of the way. But
I remember.
But they both dropped each other on their head. Mm-hmm. I think Goldberg did it first with his really shitty jackhammer.
Yeah, his jackhammer's gotten so bad. So fucking bad. But
he needs to work on cardio, man. It's like he doesn't do any sort of ring work to get ready for his matches. He just
gets gassed instantly.
Yeah, he's just a big dude. He's physically intimidating, and that's all he goes with. It's like It's Always Sunny. He works his glamour muscles.
Yeah.
But he has no cardio, so he just gets gassed out and just huff and puff like the fucking big bad wolf from Three Little Pigs.
Yep. You're right.
It's very upsetting because I used to love Goldberg.
I did too. You know, honestly, I'd say if we had the knowledge we do now and we went back and watched Goldberg as kids, we'd probably fucking hate him.
Probably. But you know, it was like the radio, man. They sold you.
Yeah, they did.
They sold you on what they were selling rather than make your own mind up. You're just like, oh, move the hills.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I feel it's a pretty safe assumption that we're both going to go with Lashley on this one.
Oh, yeah, no, it's going to be Lashley. I think Gage will probably come in and try and interfere in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
But, yeah, dude, I feel like it'll be fucking Lashley who gets the win.
Yeah, I believe so. If Gage comes in, it's probably just almost a precursor to him getting some sort of legacy-style contract.
Probably.
Becoming a second-generation Goldberg in the ring. Then he'll get some sort of stupid fucking name, probably.
Well, it won't work because he's already tarnished any sort of I'm a tough man the last time he was there.
Yeah.
And you're fucking... This is going to sound terrible just because it's pretty much being an ageist, but your grandfather of a dad had to help bail you out.
Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Granddad, dad. I'm my own grandpa.
Grandpa.
Old bird.
But yeah, it's just... I can't wait for his contract to be done and they finally call it a day, but I wouldn't be surprised if they even try and extend it or give it.
God, you know they'll try to extend it because they'll think everyone wants to see Goldberg for that nostalgia pop, and that's like that pop happened years ago, and it's been dying ever since.
Yep. Because I was excited when he first came back. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And now it's like, oh, God, no.
Mm-hmm. Same, and then it went tits up real fucking fast. Now we move on to the next match, which I think could turn into a rampant amount of fuckery. Big E versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship.
I think Big E. I honestly don't think any titles are going to change hands.
You could be right, but I just really feel like they're going to try and throw them a bone and give at least one title change on the card. And, you know, with the exception of my prediction earlier, where I would say that would be the one, this is a close second where I could see a title change happening.
I see this as it's definitely not going to happen.
I don't know.
Because it's fucking Big E, the fucking gold, literally.
He is gold, but they shit on him for so long. It's like every day he holds that belt, I count them until they take it from him in some shitty fashion. And the fact that he's going up against McIntyre, who they constantly hype about trying to get these belts on him.
No, I still don't, because ultimately money talks, and Big E definitely moves more merch than McIntyre.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm still going to pick Big E because I like him. I don't want him to drop the belt, so I'm going to predict with my heart. And, you know, if he wins, he wins. If he loses, I'll be sad, because that's why I think it's just going to be pure fuckery on WWE's part and doing something that makes no fucking sense at all because of the logic that you've mentioned right there.
Yeah, Big E's gonna win. Just go ahead and write that down.
Oh yeah, I was going to write it down for you anyway, because I mean, I know you love the New Day.
I do love the New Day. I love all the little comic references and shit.
I love their nerd references, but they're a bit too loud at times for me.
And I love Francesca. I want more Francesca.
I enjoy them in doses. I can't go all the time. Can't go full
Like
all
a
the
really
time.
shitty Scottu network.
Yeah. And then the match that I don't give a shit about, because no matter who wins, everybody loses. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, this will be the one time where Brock doesn't get a freebie title.
Yeah. Wait, so what was the match? It was Reigns and Lesnar?
Yep.
Yeah, Reigns wins, and I think it's the full turn of Heyman on Brock where all the questions have been answered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to be a match that people who really love WWE are going to think it's fucking amazing. I look at it just because of those two names, and that's what they're going to think. Because most people that love WWE love the shit out of Brock Lesnar for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I don't really understand it.
And they love the fuck out of Roman Reigns, too. I don't understand it. I mean, sure, his heel character is a million times better than, old Roman.
Yeah.
He's almost gotten to the point where I'd be like, yeah, he doesn't need a team with him anymore. Almost. But I still think he's about as interesting as a fucking slice of white bread.
I'm fucking cold, bro.
I mean, I would rather sit through my most boring college-era lecture class than watch one of his matches. And those classes are usually 3 or 4 times as long as one of his matches.
Mm.
I can think of one of them in particular. And the professor, who I knew for a fact put me to sleep every time I was in there. And that would be the one I'd rather be in than watch his match.
I think this might... I just want them to let Lesnar be a wrestler again.
Mm-hmm.
It won't happen. That's what I would like.
If they let him wrestle like he did in New Japan, it would almost be interesting.
It's upsetting because Lesnar can wrestle. Like, he wrestles very well. He can carry the match. His promos are meh, but who needs that when you can be a physically imposing force and actually carry a good match?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they don't let it happen.
No. Because if he's not billed as the Beast and just running train over people, it's not Brock Lesnar. They forget the fact that he was a champion amateur wrestler that actually has wrestling background, and that he also has done goddamn near everything else.
Mm-hmm. It's just German suplex, F5.
Yeah, Suplex City's the only thing they know. It makes me sad. But, again, it's just, we're in that fall slump. It's like nothing really, really big's happening. I think we're going to get some good shit once we hit November. To really, take us out with a bang for the end of the year. But before then, it's going to be an uphill slog. Uphill both ways, 6 feet of snow, bare feet, that sort of shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough go. AEW's doing good, but you know, you can definitely tell that they're kind of putting some miles on some of their gimmicks right now, just because we are in this back half. And, you know, some shit needs to pay off real soon, or it's going to get real stale.
Yeah.
But, you got anything else you want to go over real quick, or?
No, I think that covers everything that I had anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that touches on most of the big stuff that I'm thinking about. I mean, if anything on our takeouts, you know, all I say is, like, tune into New Japan if you want to watch some legit good wrestling. Tune into AEW if you want to find a nice middle ground between really good wrestling and the theatrics that you would find at WWE.
Yes.
I recommend the first two, personally. The second one, if you're going to watch it, just go ahead and dial your time machine back to about, I'll stop it at 2001. Maybe you could go a little further up, hit the beginnings of the CM Punk era, but anything after that, when you hit the PG era, just pretend it doesn't exist. My thoughts. But I digress. I'm going into grumpy old man territory. Next thing you know, I'll be doing Cornette-style rants. I hope not. I'll just stick with being salty from time to time. Anywho, thanks for listening, everybody. Hopefully, we can start, you know, picking up some more listeners here and there. We're going to slowly start trying to do some new things, get some more conversation going as opposed to purely predictions and news, so that way we can make the episodes better to listen to multiple times as opposed to a one and done, because we need to get that viewership up. And if you could, tell your friends. We're on all the things. Check us out. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Player FM, iHeartRadio. We are everywhere. Just search for Post to Post. That is the word 2, not the number 2. And then give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. On Facebook, it's at post_post_wrestling. And then on Instagram, same first part, only it's _podcast. And then on Instagram, on Twitter, it's at post_wrestling, because for some reason, every goddamn combination of our show title was taken except for post and wrestling with an underscore in the middle. I really just think Twitter's name generator was fucked up. They gave us the worst one there is.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But I mean, it's Twitter. It's a hot fucking mess. But we'll at least put out tweets saying that the new episode's up. Hopefully, we can get some more stuff going. But anywho, tell your friends, get us some listens, so that way one day we can be invited to fucking conventions. That's pretty much our end game, to get invited places.
That's right.
We don't care about the money. We just want to go places for free. Or semi-free. Just let us stay for free. We'll pay our fucking plane tickets. We don't care. With that, it was good talking wrestling with you again this week. Hopefully everyone listening's having a good time. We had a good time. Big ups to Ann the Polar. Their Halloween videos coming up very, very soon. They've been teasing with some of the ones from previous years past. If you want to see a ridiculous King Diamond cover from a couple years ago, give them a look. It's pretty solid. And then, shit, I forgot who they did last year, but it was another good one. And it slipped my mind because I wanted to mention that one. The King Diamond one, and their homespun corpse paint, and Falcon just... I'm going to lay it out there for you, Falcon. The corpse paint was lazy, my friend. But that top hat sold it. I'll allow it. Anywho, give them a listen. They're great people. Chapel should be on with us next week because he has a week-long vacation. So we're probably going to record on Monday. this week because chapel's coming, so that means we'll probably be able to get John in here.
Nice.
I've already started greasing the wheels for that one, so everybody be on the lookout. Everyone's favorite loud and happy-go-lucky grumpy drummer will be here Monday if all goes. But, again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.